Good morning. Hope everyone had a restful night's sleep. So when I was contemplating last night what I might do for class this morning, back bending, because it's stimulating and energizing, and we're getting ready for a big storm coming through, and I need to have really good senses. So back bending can stimulate that as long as we're very careful. So I want to give us a little bit of care in how we might prepare ourselves to move into a big standing back bend, which would be dancer pose. But we may not go there. We may get almost to there. But we're going to take those elements and put them together and try to create a class for ourselves, okay? So for now, just finding your nice, comfortable seat. Make sure your sit bones are making contact with your pillow, your blanket, your floor, something that gives you stability. You might want to put a block or a pillow under your knees just to make sure they also are supported, completely supported. Good. Lift your pelvic floor for a minute. Pull in your belly for a minute. Take a few breaths here in the chest. Consciously spread the ribs side to side. And then relax your pelvic floor, relax your belly, relax your shoulders, your jaw. Maybe let your eyes close or at least a soft gaze down to the floor. Letting your breath just move in slowly, letting the universe breathe you. On your next inhale, bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters, past and present. Special prayer of thanksgiving for Baba Haridas. With joy, we recognize the excellent wisdom teachings of yoga, Ayurveda. With vigor, we dedicate ourselves to self-transforming practice. So ask yourself, what do I need today, now, for self-transformation? Usually the first thing that pops into your mind. And then letting that thought slip down into your heart space, that heart-brain connection, and later we'll bring it back. Join me if you can in one resounding Om. Exhaling the breath out and inhaling the chant. Letting your eyes flutter open. Good. And then just taking the arms out as if you were doing a nice big yawn. Just pull your fingers in, make some big wrist circles, just a little lean over to the left, go in the other direction with your wrist. Good. And then both arms up overhead and then head over to the right a little bit. And again, some circles with your wrist. Both directions. Good. And then bring the hands into the heart for a moment. Take both arms back behind. Interlace the fingers low and squeeze the knuckles toward the floor. If you can put your thumbs down to the floor and lean into your thumbs for a minute, just press back and lean into your thumbs. Pull your belly up. Pull the pelvic floor up. Press into the thumbs. Good. And then notice yourself tilt a little bit forward towards your pubic bone. Get a little bit more of a back bend. Good. Excellent. And then bring your belly back. Remove a little bit of that back bend. Let your shoulders begin to relax, arms relax. And then just rest the palms face up on your legs for a moment. Just letting your arms relax. Good. Let's take one side extension to either side. Just reaching over to the left. Bend your left elbow. Keep your right sit bone firmly on the ground. Just one nice extension to the left and up. And then over to the right. Bend your right elbow. Left sit bone stays firmly on the floor. Good. And then coming over all the way back up. And then give yourself a little hug. Just feel your shoulder blades crawl off your back toward the sides. Notice which arm you have on top. Release it. Do the other. Good, just a little hug. Dig in for a moment into your shoulder blades with your fingers. Just massage into those muscles. Good, and then release. So we're going to go into a prone position. We're going to lay on our belly. Okay, so hopefully everybody's fine today on the belly. And we're going to start in Sphinx pose. Okay, so you're going to have your hands right under your arms, your shoulder, elbows right underneath your shoulders, elbows right underneath your shoulders. Point your toes if you can and reach them back to the wall behind you. Good. Press into the hands, really big hands. Notice if you've gripped your bottom, lift the pelvic floor into the body, pull up the belly into the body. And then release your legs, soften them, let the heels rock out to either side. I'll move my head so you can just see. Big toes can touch. Heels can rock out to either side. And then press the floor away with your forearms. Relax your belly, relax your low back. So a very soft, static Sphinx pose. Continue to press into the forearms and the hands, letting the back just relax into its natural lumbar curve. Belly can be soft for a moment. We're not doing anything, any big activity that we need, any strength here, except in the arms to support you, letting your back curl and curl. Good, a couple more breaths. Just noticing the curve of your spine. Then pull in the belly, pull in the pelvic floor, wing the elbows out to the side. Let your forehead or chin come to touch. Sweep the arms back beside you on either side of the body, palms facing upward. Imagine I've just put a 10-pound bowling ball in either palm, both palms. And so keep them on the floor. Keep the back of the palms onto the floor. As you inhale, peel up chin or forehead and chest, and exhale, lower. Keep your hands on the floor. Stretch through your toes, pelvic floor is in, belly is engaged. Follow your breath. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Lifting and breathing only in the chest. The belly needs to stay engaged, so there's no breathing into the belly. Let's change up the breath pattern. Exhale, come up, and inhale, release. Keep the hands making contact with the floor. Reaching through your big toes. Little toes are also on the floor. Little toenails are touching the floor. Good. One more. Come up, hold. Sweep your hands underneath your shoulders, hands underneath the shoulders, and then one elbow at a time, back into Sphinx. This time legs stay engaged. So keeping your legs completely engaged, tops of the feet pressing into the floor, gaze back over your left shoulder, look back toward your left heel, and inhale, come back into neutral. Look out over your right shoulder, pull in the belly, look back at your heel, and inhale, come back into neutral. Good. Belly is lifted, everything is lifted. Great. Then wing out the elbows and head down. Notice how your low ribs touch first, and then chin or chest to the floor. Sweep the arms again back behind you. Put those bowling balls back in your arms. Good. And this time, keep pressing the hands into the mat and then reach the legs back and up, just a tad, and lower. Exhale, back and up and lower. Just a few inches. Back, think back more than up, and lower. And back and up and lower. Good. And then now we're going to let everything lift for that moment. Relax into the belly for a minute. Relax into the belly. Let the legs soften. Let the shoulders soften. Take a moment of respite. And then re-engage. Point the toes, knees will lift, engage the quads, pull in the belly, pelvic floor lifts. And then inhale, lifting up, legs, arms, chest, and exhale. Inhale up, and exhale lower. 3 more. Follow your breath. Legs are just a little bit going up, mostly going back. Good. Then relax head to one side, shoulders melt into the floor. Rock out your heels, let your toes come toward each other. Breathe. Notice how your belly may capture some of the breath when it's relaxed. Flip your head to the other side. And then forehead or chin to touch. Hands again underneath your shoulders. Begin to look forward. Press into the hands. Come up a little bit, just enough that you can come up with your hands. Good. And then slide back into Sphinx pose. Great. So elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Excellent. Now lift your right leg. So right foot, flex it. You can see flex and take it toward the ceiling. At a right angle, the knee is at a right angle. Good. Just right there, nothing else, just that. And then notice your quadricep, notice the hip flexors. Good. Really flex the foot and reach through the toes toward the ceiling, toward the sole of the foot toward the ceiling. And then relax the foot and leg. Good. And then left leg, just reaching it up toward the ceiling. Flex the foot toward the ceiling. Right angle, so the knee is still on the floor. You have a right angle with the thigh. Good. And then release it. Good. Again, pressing through the tops of the feet into the floor, all the toenails, toes are pointed, but all 10 toenails down into the floor. Good. And then taking your left arm, reach it in so that you have the whole of the forearm across your body. Reach back with your right hand and hold on to your foot. If you don't touch, just maybe grab a strap and put it around the foot. And then bring only as far as is comfortable. You're not pulling. You're going to notice the quadricep engages as you take the heel close to your bottom. Wherever it goes is fine. Point the toe. Once you've got the toe pointed and the quadricep, you can feel it engaged. Flex the foot away from you. Right. So flex the foot. You're holding on somewhere in the ankle or you have a strap around your foot. Nothing more. Your whole left forearm and hand are on the floor in front of you, supporting you. And then release. Good. And then now put your right forearm all the way across, hand firmly on the floor. Bend the left leg. And then reach back. You can hold on to your foot, toes pointed, very pointed. Good. Hold on around the ankle or just slip a strap over it and then hold on. Belly is lifted, pelvic floor is lifted. Quadricep, you can feel that it's a stretch. Wait another few seconds. And then flex the foot so that the heel is now toward the ceiling. Good. Just noticing where you are, how it feels. Excellent. And then release the arm. Come into Sphinx. Just go ahead and cross your elbows, pressing into the elbows, pressing into the forearms. Curl your toes under, flex your feet. So really feel the feet flex back toward the toes are towards you flexed. So your heels are toward the ceiling. Good. And then put your forearms down, put your hands underneath your shoulders, drop your knees into the floor, and then come up into kneeling, into all fours, okay? So we're in all fours for now. Good. So just be in this position for a moment. Your quads just got a really nice workout. Press the floor away, so no slumping down. Press the floor away, pull in the belly. Great. And then slowly, let's take a cat, tucking tailbone toward the back of the head toward the tailbone first. And then inhale, neutral. And then exhale, take it in your thoracic. Take it in your thoracic and cervical. So curl. Don't go to your maximum. Build into it slowly, because you were back bending more than you may have thought. So slow here. Slow is key. Belly to spine. Press the floor away. Coming through slowly. You can use your exhale for the arching and the inhale to come back into neutral. Or you can follow the inhale with one movement, exhale with the other. Good. And then from our kneeling position for a moment, go ahead and reach back the left foot. So just reaching the left foot back, toes are toward the floor, toes are toward the floor. Then bend the knee and take the heel and the sole of the foot toward the ceiling. So just bend. And then we're going to have a little bit of a pumping action with the leg and the hip, but no rotation at all, okay? You can curl under your right foot or leave it laid out, whichever gives you the most traction, all righty? So we're going to do this 6 times. Pump, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, belly stays in, release the leg. Press it to the floor. Good. And then back all the way through your right leg, right foot, reaching back, toes are toward the floor. There's no rotation here. And then bend the knee. Thigh is parallel to the floor. Right angle with the leg. Good. And then as you're ready, pump, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. And then release. Excellent. Just be in neutral. Press the tops of the feet into the floor, hands into the floor, but be in neutral, not pressing into either direction. Natural lumbar curve, natural cervical curve. Good. And now we're going to go back down, all the way back down. I'll do it with a different orientation this time, just so you can see hopefully a little clearer. Okay, ready? All 10 toenails down on the floor. Point the toes, knees will lift. Good, and then let's go into the right side. So bend the right knee, flex the right foot. Be there for a moment. And then begin to lift the right knee a little bit off the floor. Not very much, maybe an inch, just a tiny bit. And lower. And lift, maybe an inch, don't go too much. And lower. Lift. And lower, just the right leg, right hip, you feel the action there. Lift and lower. Good. Release the right leg, left leg, go ahead and bend it. Right angle, sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Good. And really reach through the right foot on the floor so that it's very engaged, belly is in. Good. Lift, just a tiny bit, lower. Lift. 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 And lift. Good. And lower the leg, press through both, lift in the belly. Excellent. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders. So if you're inverting, I would love for you to do mountain pose and stay there for 5 breaths. If you're not inverting, you can do plank on the floor with your knees, okay? So either here in plank or here in mountain. Wherever you are, take 5 delicious breaths. Let the spine be long. All of its natural curves, no matter if you're in plank or mountain. And after your 5th breath, bring your knee down to the floor. Reestablish yourself in your table pose. Wrists right underneath the shoulders. Hands are in front of the shoulders completely. Knees right underneath the hips. Your toes can be curled under or laid out, whichever gives you the most traction. Good. And then shift the weight over to the right side. Lift the left leg a little. Press the heel and foot up. Good. Just being there for a moment. Press into the floor. Gaze forward a little bit. You can see parts of dancer in this pose. And then lower the knee and relax. Breathe. Good. And then put the weight over onto the left side. Begin to take off the right leg, flex the right knee. Press the floor away. Lift the right leg a little bit toward the ceiling, but no rotation. Just a little bit of lift, a little more engaging of the glutes that are underneath. Lift. Take your gaze a little bit forward. Press into the floor. Notice the quality of a dancer pose, Nataraj. And then release the knee. Release back into neutral. So neutral as far as we're going for a moment. Take a few breaths. And then walk your hands back as you move your hips towards your heels and sit up calmly. It's a nice, calm sitting up. See how your back's feeling. Take inventory. How's your spine? Good. And then one more time, down on the floor. We're going to just slide ourselves down, slither down into a prone position. Stretch out your legs, tops of the feet onto the floor. Reach through all the toenails firmly on the floor. Good. And then again, placing your right arm across so that you have the whole arm supporting you. Left arm back. Good. So take out any kind of rotation. So face the floor, look at the floor. Flex the foot when you're ready. Press into the whole of the right arm. Come up just as much as it's comfortable. Low ribs may lift off the ground. Belly is lifted. Pelvic floor is engaged. And then lower and release the leg. Beautiful. Good. Okay. And now your entire left forearm on the floor supporting you. Reach back, hold on, point the toes of the right foot. Lift the leg a little, shoulders lifted. Look out in front of yourself so that you're not collapsing into anything. Beginning to gaze forward, maybe up a tiny bit, tiny bit. Don't throw your head back. Flex the foot of the right leg. And then lower slowly. Relax. Let your heels rock out to either side. Rest on your forearms. Take a few breaths. Head to one side. Just breathing into your back body. Send love, send energy. Turn your head to the other side. Breathe into the quadratus lumborum, those muscles that join your low ribs to your pelvic basket on either side of the spine. Breathing into those beautiful square-shaped muscles. Good. And then bringing your head into neutral, taking your hands underneath your shoulders. Begin to press the floor right, pull in your belly, pull up your belly, pull it up. Coming into kneeling, all the way into kneeling. Good. Curl your toes under, sit back on your heels, nice and tall. Breathing for a moment. And then come up onto the feet, balls of the feet. And then as you're ready, just coming up, all the way up. And I'm going to switch the orientation of the camera. Good. Okay. So I have a chair here, and I'm going to recommend that you have a chair. If you have one close, go grab it and get it close to you. Because we're going to think about the elements that are there. So when we're doing dancer, we've done all of the back bending wherever our limit is, wherever we are. We've done that. We've shown what that looks like and feels like on the floor. The other element that we add is the warrior 3 pose, right? Or extended flag, often called. So with our chair in front of us, we're not going to do any back bending initially, okay? Just stepping your left foot back. Begin to pivot over the hip. Let the left leg come up a little. Grab your chair. So finding that Tadasana over your bent leg. So finding with your left side, you have Tadasana, and you're bending it over your right femur. And then come back up. Good. Shift the weight over to the left side. Step back your right foot. Begin to lean a little bit forward. And then begin to raise up the right foot. So the toes stay toward the floor. There's no rotation here. This is totally toward the floor. Belly is in, pelvic floor is engaged. And then come back up. Good. Okay. So thinking about using that particular movement of warrior 3. So when we're here, we're headed forward into warrior 3. Toes are toward the floor, balancing over the femur, and then coming back. Other side, just moving in toward a warrior 3. You don't have to come all the way over. Toes are toward the floor, no rotation, and then coming back. Okay? So we combine that movement. I have a strap here. If you have a strap or a tie or a sash or anything that you can hold on to for a moment, you might want to use it. And I'm going to put my belt around the foot so that I can easily hold on to it. Okay? And then I'm going to put it on my shoulder like I'm going for a ride somewhere. Okay? Just going to put it right on my foot and on my shoulder. So if you can tie the sash around your foot, tie the tie around your foot, hold on to the other end. Good. And then facing your chair. So let's use our other arm as support. Okay? On purpose, we're going to use it as support. So be sure that you're close enough that when you just lean a little bit, you've got the chair. And you can continue pulling on the other leg until you get wherever you feel comfortable. This is one half of it. And then come up. Okay? So if we wanted to take it a little bit further, you can see about reaching both arms back and holding on to that strap. Okay? So then when you're looking at your chair, And you can always release the other arm and use it, but when you're looking at the chair and you're walking it up, and then you start to pivot, you can see how the back bend adds on, all right? So, making sure your strap is there, at least your left arm right behind, your right arm is ready for support, okay? And if you want to challenge yourself, take both arms back, whichever is best for you. One arm is plenty. Good, take an inhale. And as you exhale and lift the pelvic floor, bring the belly in, start to rotate. Don't pull too much, just get it where it feels comfortable and you aren't overdoing. You can always put your right hand on the chair. And then look forward, gaze forward. And then come up and release. And then let's do the other side, okay? Put your strap on, hold on to the strap, get it out to the outside of your foot, out to the side, and then hold the strap on as if you were gonna go camping somewhere with something on your back. Okay, ready? We have the chair in front. So initially, holding on with your left arm, just holding on to the chair and beginning to come over. Just feel yourself pulling the strap. No rotation to the leg. You're just on the leg. And then coming up and releasing. And then remembering what I said about arms behind you. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can always keep just one arm behind you and the other arm, I have my left arm ready for the chair. Good. So as I start to step back and lean over, and then I work that arm wherever I want it to go. Good. And it can be very different on either side. You just play with where you are. And then coming up. Good. And then let's take off the strap. And for a moment, our standing Shavasana. So find your Tadasana, find your palm tree pose, your sometimes mountain, whatever you call it, Samastiti, evenly balanced pose. Find that, relax your bottom, your shoulders, your jaw, relax your pelvic floor, your belly, everything releasing for a moment with this standing Shavasana. Get soft in the body. Shift a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right, a little bit to the back, a little bit to the front, and then find yourself in the middle, relaxing buttocks, pelvic floor, belly, chest, back body, shoulders, jaw. Good. And then slowly, we're going to come back down through our toe balance. Just like we went down, we're going to come, like we came up, we're going to go down. So bend the knees and come up onto the ball of the foot. Put your hands on the floor, on a block, on your thighs, wherever you'd like, in Namaskar or out in front, any place you'd like. And then we're going to drop the knees to the floor again. Keep your curve, keep your low back curve. And then into all fours again, right into all fours, wrist underneath your shoulders, knees falling out of your hips. Keep your low back curve, pull your belly in, pelvic floor is in, gazing. forward or to the floor, keeping the cervical curve. So if you're looking forward just a little bit forward, not too much. Breathe. And then lay out the tops of the feet, press the toenails into the floor, pull in your belly, pull in the belly, pull in the belly, pull in the belly, and slowly start to arch the spine toward the ceiling. Pull in the belly, draw the chin into the chest, press the floor away, breathe naturally, shallow breath. Keep the belly pulled in, press into the floor, press into the feet and legs. And then not just dropping it, very slowly and gently, coming back into neutral. Not just plopping yourself there, control. And then curl the toes under, take the hips toward the ceiling, back of the head toward the tailbone, tailbone toward the back of the head, curling the opposite direction. Press into the toes onto the floor. Breathe, shallow breath. And then come slowly with control back into neutral. Feel the belly lift, feel your lumbar curve finding its place. Good. And then down to the forearms, down to the forearms. Extend out through the fingertips, press all 10 fingers into the floor. Reach back into a low plank for a moment. Pull the belly in, belly pulls in, reach back through the heels and toes, and then lower your belly to the floor. Relax your heels, a supported Sphinx again. Heels to the side, big toes touching, gazing forward, press through the forearms. Relax your low back. And from here, you are so welcome to take Advasana, which is a Shavasana on your belly, or Shavasana, okay? So either way. We're going to move right into that. We're not necessarily going to invert today, okay? Because I'm not sure which inversion you might select after this to keep your back safe. So go ahead and press through your toes, re-engage your legs. Press through, wing the arms out to the side, lower onto the ribs, hands back, arms back beside you, and then as you relax and melt in the floor, head to one side into your Advasana. Or if you'd like, go ahead and flip over to your back mindfully, slowly. Do not pull your knees into your chest. Just breathe, finding space. Take your head to the other side for a moment. And then determining which side your head feels most comfortable, move it to that side and relax. No controlling the breath. Let it move into the belly or stay in the chest wherever it's comfortable. Filling what needs to be filled. Bring energy to your back body. letting your body sink a little deeper into the floor. Let the weight become a little bit heavier. And then, as if gravity didn't exist, letting the weight come a little lighter. Every place making contact on the floor, notice the space between you and the floor. Tiny little particles of air between you and the floor. Gently and mindfully awakening body, mind, deciding how you want to make your way into embryo pose from wherever you are. A nice, gentle C curve, that embryonic C curve. Your chin's tucked into your chest, your knees are tucked into your belly. Just notice body, breath, mind. And then as you're ready, begin to press the floor away, spiraling yourself up to a comfortable seat. Take your time. Take the time to come up slowly, letting your head be the very last thing that comes up as you stack it on top of your spine. Being still for just a few more moments, letting the asana do their work. Notice the quality of the thoughts in your mind. And on your next inhale breath, letting your eyes flutter open. So our pranayama practice for today, we're going to do a little bit of belly breathing. Because back bendings can be so stimulating, we're going to do a little bit of belly breathing to just calm down, making our parasympathetic nervous system come up. So we're going to take some belly breaths. We'll take a couple of chest breaths, and then we'll combine the two into our yogic breath. And then maybe a few rounds of Nadi Shodhana. You're welcome as soon as you get into the yogic breath to add Nadi Shodhana if that's part of your practice and you know it already. Okay? So exhale the breath all the way out. Maybe put your hands on your belly. And as you inhale, put your belly out. And as you exhale, pull the belly back. Use the muscles to pull it back. Inhale, push it out, let it go. And exhale, bring it back. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, belly expands. Diaphragm contracts. Exhale, bring it back. A few more. And this time as you exhale, pull the belly to the spine and leave it there. And inhale into the chest. Feel this part of the chest expand. And inhale into the chest. Ribs move, bucket handle breathing. Inhale, chest. Low ribs. Exhale. Belly stays stable, doesn't move. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. I'm just using my arms to show you how the ribs can expand. Belly is very stable. Good. And then after your next breath, relax. Take a few catch breaths. Breathing gently. And the next breath we're going to do is the yogic breath. So we combine those two actions. We let the belly muscles go so that the breath starts in the belly, but then gently we climb it into the chest. The belly will hollow out all on its own as the chest rises. And then one slow, long, gentle exhalation. Okay? So let's just try that together. Always breathing in and out of the nose. No mouth breathing anywhere. Okay? Not for this part. Exhale the belly, the spine, all the breath out. Relax the belly, inhale belly. Draw that same inhale up into the chest. Watch the chest expand as the belly hollows out. Pause at the top and a slow, smooth, gentle exhale as the lungs recoil and move back into their natural space. Relax the belly, inhale belly. Then chest, same inhale, just moving it from the belly into the chest. Top of the inhale, just a slight pause, and then mindful exhalation. Nice and slow and even and gentle. The very bottom of the exhale, if you want, you can pull your belly back a little to the spine so you notice when you let it go and the breath comes in. Pulling that inhale up to the chest. Belly comes back all on its own as the chest expands. Think side ribs, back ribs. Up, exhale. A couple more. So you're welcome to just continue with yogic breath, which is very balancing, very good for all doshas, good for everyone to do. You're also welcome to layer on Nadi, Shodhana, cleansing the nadis, balancing our energy body. Our right hand Vishnu mudra, tucking in the index and the middle finger, using our thumb for our right nostril, our ring finger for the left. The elbow is comfortable where the shoulder is comfortable, so not pressing in, not winging up because it will get very tired. So find a place that your scapula, your shoulder blade is happy. You can always, if that's uncomfortable to your hand, you can always press those two fingers into the third eye, still using your thumb for your right nostril, ring finger for your left. So either of the mudras. I'll walk you through a round and a half, and then my voice will peel off and continue on at your own pace. Or feel free to just do yogic breath. Exhaling the breath all the way out, belly to spine. Closing off the right nostril, inhaling left, belly, and then chest. Top of the inhale, switch fingers, exhale right. Bottom of the exhale, inhale right, belly, then chest. Top of the inhale, switch fingers, and exhale. Bottom of the exhale, inhale left. Top of the inhale, switch fingers, and exhale right. Following this horseshoe pattern until I ask you to make the last round. Taking the time to complete the round that you're on with an exhale out the left nostril. Take the time, complete the round. Ask yourself today if you cannot move, to move into meditation. Just letting the mind move into meditation. A busy body is a busy mind. You can just keep still for the next 5 minutes. Feeling the bottom, the legs, the feet heavily glued to the floor. Or a chair if it's more comfortable. As little movement as possible, letting the breath get shallow and subtle, just enough to sustain. Notice the breath coming in cold, cool, going out warm. Notice where the breath goes to in the torso, toward the belly, toward the chest. Do you see it? Do you feel it? Is it imperceptible? Letting your eyes roll back in the sockets and relax. Letting your tongue softly relax in the mouth. While the shoulders relax down, the spine lifts as if it were a shoot of grass headed toward the sky. Placing the tip of the tongue where the roof of the mouth meets the teeth. And then relaxing the rest of the tongue in the mouth. Letting the universe breathe you. Breath coming in, breath going out, symbiotic exchange. Bringing the mind to one word, Om. The beginning, the end, and everything in between represented by Om. Using it to tether the mind, Om. As the mind begins to wander and a thought comes in, bring it back, Om. Like a wayward child with love and affection, no judgment, Om. 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 Consciously letting the mudra, the mantra go. Letting your hands rest now in your lap. Dominant hand on top. Just resting, thumbs gently touching. Notice the breath in the body, where it fills the body. Letting the pranayama and the meditation do their work. Body, breath, mind. Notice the quality of the thoughts that come in. Bringing the hands into the heart. Any merit we may have earned this morning in our diligent practice of yoga, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient beings. Remembering your intention, pondering it for a moment, and then letting it slip out of your mind, down into your heart, symbolically out of your heart into the palms of your hands, and then lift it up and just let it go off into the universe. Bringing the hands gently, softly back into the heart. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. I will be right there. Thank you for joining me this morning. On my way. My quadriceps are like jelly because I practiced and then I did and then I taught. Ooh. Okay, let me get it where you can speak and then let me get it where I can see you all of you beauties. Okay, hold on. Okay. Namaskar, namaste everyone. Nice to see you. Welcome. Hi, Sylvia, Wendy, Dana, Tati, nice to have you. Mamata, Jean. Hello, Alfredo. You were my first this morning. I saw that pop on the screen as I went and got my water. Hi, Brenda, Jean, Sue, Ashok, G. I know you're there. Manipa, I know you're there. Hi, Jana, you too. Nayana, my love. Tina, nice to see you. Ken, Surya Prakash, welcome. Verinda, how nice to have you here. Vic and Sandra, welcome. Nice to have everybody here this morning. So how's your back? That's my concern. How's everyone's back? Okay, is it good? All right, because I tried to do very gentle going in and very gentle going out. So I want to make sure everybody's back is feeling healthy right now. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, but I did, earlier this morning, so.
You did what earlier, Brenda?
I feel stiff, but I did when I woke up.
Uh-huh.
It's really stiff.
Uh-huh. So, that gentle movement that you're kind of doing by yourself, we often don't do that. And that's really what's perfect for that kind of stiffness. It's just lubricating those joints and moving slowly, like side to side and front and back. And that side extension we did at the beginning to do a little bit more of that side extension. And, do it softly. When you come to your the rim of where that would need more than that, then just back off of it a little bit. And right there at that back off place, do a little bit of like gentle movement, right? Because we did do a lot of back work. I'm sorry, Brenda, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that last week you did the breathing into the different areas of the body. That was really helpful for stiffness. I found I did it like throughout the week, and it was good.
Excellent, excellent, and do that today as well, right? Really do it today. Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, Nataraj is a really challenging pose, and people have changed it up sometimes over recent years to make it where it has this big external rotation, which of course it doesn't. It's really trying to just balance yourself over that standing femur and have a back bend and have everything be nice and balanced. So it requires a lot of forethought in how you're going to recreate it. You're welcome, Moneypa. I'm glad. It helps my back as long as I warm up efficiently, and I hoped I warmed you up efficiently, and cool down efficiently. Like if I just go into, remember when you guys were starting to last, don't tug your feet, don't tug your knees into your chest. That's like the opposite of what you just did, and the paper clip principle will apply if you have a tight muscle. It'll just spasm right there, and then going back in the opposite direction, it's like misery, right? So just go to neutral, find that neutral spot and keep revisiting neutral, and just see if you can relax into it. And, doing a Sphinx pose with completely relaxed buttocks, completely relaxed buttocks is so good for your paraspinals. Just laying on the floor, relaxing everything from the belly button down, and just letting that be heavy, but yet keeping that upward movement into your thoracic spine. It really helps to train the brain where you want that movement, where it's best served. Yeah. So any questions about, well, today we did a simple pranayama, just doing our belly breath, our little baby chest breath, and then some Nadi Shodhana. It was funny. I don't even remember where I was. I gave someone a choice to do Nadi Shodhana at some class I was doing. Where was that? Over the weekend. Oh, I know where I was. Now I remember. I was with my Ayurveda group. Where did I teach this weekend? Okay. And I offered them to do Nadi Shodhana after we did a little bit of the yogic breath. And I was so confused, not confused, but I was surprised because a couple of people did like 2 rounds and quit. I was like, well, you're not going to get much balancing out of that or much cleansing out of that. So, Nadi Shodhana is a great practice for balancing and cleansing the nadis, and, really working on Ida, our moon lunar soft side, and Pingala, our strong solar, strong side, balancing them out and keeping them in balance all the way. But 5 minutes is probably like the minimum you want to do. So, if your arm gets tired, you just grab it with the other arm and support it. You can always do whatever you need to do. Some people just put a chair right there beside them and put their elbow on the chair and do it like that, whatever you need. But, do that in and out for at least 5 minutes so that you can get some effect of it. 10-minute practice is really, you'll feel the difference. You'll really notice the difference in your day,
I have a question about it was a challenge for me to breathe as slowly as you were because I was running out of breath. So and that might be my pitta coming in, but maybe
you just go to your speed. Like I was going faster than my norm, but probably not as slow as a beginning student. So okay. I totally hear you, Jean. Yeah. And I could have slowed it down a little bit, but you just do whatever's natural for you, belly, chest, okay. Exhale, belly, chest, exhale. Yeah. Okay. And you always switch fingers at the inhale, switch, inhale, switch, at the top of the inhale, switch. It's always an inhale, switch, right?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, any other questions about the breath? About why I would let us go. Tell me why you think I did abdominal breathing right after, besides what I told you. Because I told you why. I told you that I wanted to do something more relaxing because we had just done stimulating back bends. But also, what supports your back? What supports your low back more than anything?
Your abdominal muscles. Your abdominal muscles.
Absolutely. Thanks, Patty. Your abdominal muscles. So that pulling that belly in just reinforces the strength in that area rather than the tightness in that area, right? If you really learn to abdominally breathe, what I call Kriya 6 in the Swasayam Kriyas, where you exhale the breath out, belly to spine, release, and you inhale. Exhale the breath out, belly to spine, release, and inhale. That's very, very balancing, and it's very strengthening to both your rectus abdominis and your transverse abdominis. So it really creates a girdle for you to keep your low back safe. So belly breathing is really, it's not only necessary, it's super important for low back health, I think.
Ginger?
Yes, Patty.
So you intuitively seem to give me what I need for each class, because my back was kind of bothering me after some exercises I was doing yesterday in a totally different, more aggressive exercise class. And also I needed to quiet my mind today because I woke up with my furrow. So I know that I was thinking too hard last night, and you helped me to bring me down to clearing my mind and relaxing my back. But in terms of instructing, I'd like to know, do you go through this whole class in your head?
Never.
Like the day before, or is this all spontaneous? And how do you choose what you're going to do for the day of the class?
It's always spontaneous. Like the only thing I did before class today was I knew I was going to do working up to warrior, or working up to dancer. And so I laid on the floor and did alligator and cobra and the leg lifts, just the leg stuff. But I didn't really know where the goddess would take me. And this all started, Patty, back in the day when I first opened my yoga studio in Antigua in 2000. And I planned my first class like a good student. I planned my first class and I did my first class because I had a friend who was a yoga teacher. She said she always planned and did her first class. Well, I did it, and then I got it was a lot of stuff on your knees, and I got there, and 2 or 3 people had knee surgery. So that class went out the window, and I just had to do what I knew, right? As my friend Babaji says, teach to learn, and that I combine with teach what you know. So don't go out into East Japipi if you've never ever tried it, Oh, okay. Thanks, Donna. I didn't touch anything. It must have been the internet, because when you lose your power, sometimes it'll take your video off for you. So anyway, Patty, I had that happen 3 times in a row. And this was back in the day when I had not only 1 restaurant, but I had 2 restaurants, 2 kids who were 4 years old. It was like, I lie. It was 2000. So they were 6 years old, right? No, 7 years old. They were born in 94. 6 years old. So I was raising 2 boys, had 2 restaurants, and was going crazy. And every piece of my life was so planned because I'm such a pitta anal person, right? Not so much anymore. I've embraced my kapha-ness. But I planned, and then literally every time, no matter what I planned, nobody could do it, or more than half the class couldn't do it. And I was really lucky because my first studio was right in the middle of town, and some days I'd have 15, 20 students. I mean, I was super lucky. I got tons of people from the very beginning, and they'd tell other tourists, and people would come. And I never ever got to plan a class. Anything I planned was out the window. So I told the goddess that I understood that I had too planned of a life already, and that I was going to trust her completely to teach yoga through me. That I was going to let go of the reins, and I wasn't going to ever plan a class again. And even over the past few years, as occasionally I've tried to plan a class, I still can't do it. I mean, there's still something that comes up in the last minute. Whatever I plan goes out the window, and a whole new thing comes in. And I think it's connection, and I never would recommend to a beginning student to do that. Not Sue or Donna or Wendy or Aunt Tina, anybody, Sylvia. I don't recommend, Jana. A lot of you teachers are in the room. I don't recommend you do it because I think it really helped me to plan those classes and then throw them out the window. Because I totally understand the basic principles that I'm trying to do. I know I'm working in the spine. I know I'm working with all 5 values, I know I'm working through all 3 doshas for bringing balance. So I know what I need to do to make the class holistic, and that's kind of what I go with. Yeah.
Ginger, this is reminding me of when I first was practicing law, and I was just thinking that I would plan everything. I had 2 small children, had a restaurant, by the way, and everything I planned when I got into the courtroom, the judge would usually say, yeah, we know all that, but what about blah, blah, blah. So, but the fact that I had planned it was extremely helpful because I still had the structure in my mind. So the spirit of the structure really helped me go forward, even with regardless of what was asked.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And timing is important. You know, like I know how much time I have to warm up, how much time I have to focus, how much time I have to cool down, how much time I need for Shavasana, how much time I need for meditation, how much time I need for pranayama. I know my times. So I let the clock rule, literally. Sometimes I would like to do 2 or 3 more things, but the clock says, stop, Ginger, you can do it again another day, you know?
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking
Bring
of,
back lots of memories.
and the clock today is saying, okay, it's 1:15, so we're going to stop. So it's so lovely to hang out with you. If you're up for it, 6 a.m. California time. Tina, you're lucky you're on the East Coast on Thursday morning. Thank you. Thanks for joining me. Much love. Have a wonderful day. Pray for people in Guatemala. Iota is headed our way. So pray for us all that we don't get, that the rain goes out to the ocean. Ciao.